6 weeks has passed. You come in, we sit at our lavish conference table, and you give me a readout. Again, I'm overwhelmed, maybe. Maybe I knew all these things. But I've now got 21 things that you say are in the critical category. You say I have 4 things in the high, whatever the case may be. Let's talk about the application of controls and what this means, because there seems to be some serious order to this, right? I can't give an annual report to my leadership, or senior leadership as it's called out, without having the assessment done or applying the controls and showing that progress. But what does this stop really mean to you as far as what we need to be doing and thinking about in the applying controls category?
Yeah, so this is important. This is my job, or people like me's job, to make this understandable, right? So I could come in and I could say, oh, you need to apply MFA to your access control policy, blah, blah, blah. Nothing goes right over people's head most of the time. So what I need to do is I need to say, okay, here's your gaps and here's how you can fix them. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean buying services that I provide or Catalyst provides. Those will certainly be something we could present to you and make your life easier. But also, you could take our presentation and go shop it around if you want, look for other help. I always say, we are here to tell you need to paint the wall. We're not here to tell you what brand of paint to use or even what color to paint. You got to paint it. I'm going to give you a direction so you know where to go to look for the paint. I'm going to tell you, Home Depot has it in this section, Lowe's over here, Sherman-Williams, and I'm also going to give you, if you let me do it or if you have me do it, here's what it would cost. I can scope this all out for you. Sure. Whatever you decide, even if you went with someone else and then you had me come back, I would rate the controls the same as I would whether I was doing them or whether you were doing them. If they're being done, they're in place, we're good. It just doesn't matter who does them.
Got it. And so this same thing applies if I'm a smaller shop and maybe I don't have the staff needed to apply these controls. These controls are things that need to be periodically reviewed. They're things, a penetration test, a 2FA, or whatever it is. How do I solve that problem? Is there an organization? Can I just give that to Catalyst or give that to Foresight and they work in partnership? Or is there a way to essentially outsource this whole component of the applying controls?
Yeah, so there's certainly a variety of services you can purchase from various places, remembering that in the end, the buck stops with you. So, yes. Whatever you do has to be reported to you and you have to be able to feel confident in it. The whole idea of one of the great things about the Catalyst Foresight partnership is that we have a separation of duties. So, if Catalyst is doing the controls, you shouldn't have Catalyst assess the controls and their effectiveness. You should have someone else do that. So that's where we come in. Foresight generally is not going to be the one doing the controls, but we will certainly be assessing them and their effectiveness.
And it really goes back to you can't grade your own homework here, folks. You should always have a multi-party approach, one to implement, one to monitor, those kinds of things. And as we go to number 4, I want to talk a little bit more about how we validate that your controls are actually effective.